Let's go ahead and begin. Welcome, everybody. This is our regular Mason County Commission meeting for June 22nd, and we will begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Patty McLean, would you please do us the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Assessor.
You're welcome.
You know, to this day, ladies and gentlemen, I still consider it an honor to be able to have the Pledge of Allegiance and to do that in our meetings. Growing up as kids, we always had it in schools, and then it disappears in your life. For us as commissioners, we have the opportunity to do it regularly, and I just wanted to say it is appreciated, and it is an honor, I think, when we ask somebody to lead us in it. So thank you again, Madam Assessor. With that being said, roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Item number 4 is correspondence and organizational business. Do we have correspondence to come before us today?
The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in the following: liquor license applications for Haru Sushi Teriyaki and Wok and Lake Noatzel Resort, and liquor and marijuana renewal applications. Jan Goodpaster sent in an application for the Mason County Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. Gary and Jan Mazzoncini sent in a letter of support for Hood Canal Communications American Rescue Plan funding request. Monica Nerney sent in an application for the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. And the Olympic Region Clean Air Agency sent in a notification of assessment for calendar year 2022.
Thank you. Item number 4.2, news release, Eels Hill Transfer Station Advisory. Who's taking that one, Loretta? Is that Richard?
I'll do it.
Thank you, Richard.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Eels Hill Transfer Station Advisory for June 24th and 25th. Eels Hill Transfer Station customers are advised of the Moto America Motorcycle Race event at the Ridge Motorsports Park located off Eels Hill Road this coming Friday and Saturday, June 24th and 25th. While traffic impacts to the Eels Hill transfer station are not anticipated, there is the possibility of additional congestion. The Hood Sport Union and Belfair drop box facilities are other good options for disposal and recycling drop-off locations. If you have any questions, please contact Public Works at 360-427-9670, Belfair 360-275-4467, or Elma 360-482-5269, extension 450.
Excellent. Thank you. Next up is probably you again. We have a news release, Mason County Solid Waste Advisory Committee membership opening.
You're right. That's me again.
I'm on a roll.
2 for 2. Mason County Solid Waste Advisory Committee membership openings. Mason County is seeking individuals to serve on the Mason County Solid Waste Advisory Committee, also known as SWAC. The committee reviews and makes recommendations to the commissioners regarding solid waste and special waste management in Mason County, including disposal rates, disposal options, waste reduction, recycling, household hazardous waste, and composting programs. The committee consists of at least 9 members and represents a balance of interests, including but not limited to citizens, public interest groups, business, the solid waste industry, and local elected public officials. Committee members are appointed for a 3-year term. Participation is voluntary, and members meet once a month. For more information about the SWAC, please contact Richard Dickinson at 360-427-9670, extension 652. For an application, please contact the Mason County Commissioner's Office at 360-427-9670, extension 419, or visit our website at www.co.mason.wa.us. Applications will be accepted until the positions are filled.
Thank you very much, Richard. Mackenzie, is there any other correspondence or organizational businesses to come before us today?
No, there is not.
Thank you. Item number 5 is our open forum for citizen input. This is your opportunity to speak to the commission on any item that is not on the agenda. If it is on the agenda, and especially if you'd like to testify or speak on it, we will ask that you'll wait until it comes up at that time and you'll be given an opportunity to testify or speak. But if it's not on the agenda, there's something you'd like to discuss with us, this will be your opportunity. I'll ask you to raise your hand. And if you don't know how to do that, we'll give you an opportunity to unmute and say your name. But again, I want to remind everybody that we are limited time. There's a maximum of 3 minutes per person and up to 15-minute time limit for everybody. With that being said, is there anybody who would like to raise their hand so they could speak to the commission on an item not on the agenda? I see no hands raised. Is there anybody in the public that would like to unmute now, say your name so I can call on you? If you'd like to speak to the commission on an item not on the agenda, please unmute now, say your name, and we'll give you an opportunity to speak. Hearing none, we will move forward to item number 6, which is the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded for the adoption of the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Item number 7 is approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of minutes from May 24th, June 7th, and June 14th, 2021 briefing minutes, and May 11th and 25th, 2021 regular meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the May 24th, 2021, June 7th, 2021, June 14th, 2021 briefing minutes, and the May 11th, 2021, and May 25th, 2021 regular meeting minutes as presented. Any additions or pulls? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next up is our approval of the action agenda. All items on the action agenda will be read to the public, after which you will be given an opportunity to ask a question that would help you to decide whether or not to take it off for a separate vote. You will be given an opportunity to take it off for a separate vote, especially if you would like to testify on any of the items. After we read them, please consider that, and we will give you the same opportunities by raising your hand or calling on you. With that being said, I'm going to mix things up a little bit. Commissioner Trask, would you read item number 8.1 through 8.10? Commissioner Schutte, would you read 8.11 through 8.20? And I'll read 8.21 through 8.30.
Absolutely. Item 8.1, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances, claims clearing fund, warrant numbers 8080840 through 8081039 in the amount of $506,816.87. Direct deposit fund, warrant numbers 78165 through 78556 in the amount of $766,544.68. Salary clearing fund, warrant numbers 7005966 through 7005999, the amount of $1,041,289.99. Item 8.2, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, July 6th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m. to consider the 2020 open space applications. Item 8.3, approval of the resolution increasing the fee to $600 per parcel for new applications and reclassifications for the open space, farm, and agricultural and designated forest land programs effective August 1st, 2021. Item 8.4, approval of the resolution to amend resolution number 40-08, adding 2 additional recording cash drawers to the auditor's office at $50 each for an additional $100, and bringing their cash drawer total from 2 to 4 equal $200 altogether. Item 8.5, approval to fill one additional temporary full-time environmental health specialist to assist with the increases in environmental health reviews, permits, and enforcement cases until December 31st, 2021. Item 8.6, approval for the Director of Support Services to approve and pay the Helix Design Group invoice for $44,325 and Colvos Construction proposed change order number 12 for $660,865.37, totaling $705,190.37. Item 8.7, approval of the 2021 through 2023 biennium contract number K2216 between the Washington State Conservation Commission and Mason County for the Voluntary Stewardship Program implementation. Item 8.8, approval to the amendment to Mason County contract number 19-053, interlocal agreement with Mason County or Mason Conservation District relating to the Voluntary Stewardship Program, extending the contract to June 30th, 2023. Item 8.9, approval to accept a resignation in lieu of termination from Philip Franklin effective July 2nd, 2021, and to approve the separation, release, and hold harmless agreement to release and forever discharge Mason County, its officers, agents, employees, agencies, and departments from any and all existing and future claims, damages, and causes of action foreseen and unforeseen of any nature whatsoever arising out of Philip Franklin's employment with Mason County, and to pay the sum of $772.08 as agreed. Item 8.10, approval of consolidated contract number CLH 18253, Amendment 20, adding an additional $1,131,353 for COVID-19 support, extending the usage dates of the funding sources, and adding $24,400 for Group A sanitary survey and technical assistance.
Item 8.11, approval of the Medicaid Transformation Project Partner Contract. Item 8.12, approval to sign the Mason County Reserve and Contingency Policy to amend Resolution number 72-19. Item 8.13, approval of the Mason County Commissioners 2022 and 2023 preliminary budget preparation guidelines. Item 8.14, approval for the chair to sign the vehicle take-home assignment authorization request forms for the calendar year 2021 for Jeremy Seymour. Item 8.15, approval for the chair to sign and enter the county into a professional services agreement with North Mason Resources for the period of July 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021 to provide basic essential items to the poor or infirm with a strong preference towards veterans in Mason County. Item 8.16, approval to reclassify the levy personal property technician to an administrative data technician in the assessor's office effective July 1st, 2021, and place the incumbent in step 5 of the 2021 AFSCME salary scale, reclassify one financial analyst position to a senior financial analyst position, placing the incumbent in step 9 of the AFSCME salary effective July 1st, 2021. Item 8.17, approval to amend resolution number 2021-018 to revise the non-represented salary scale range alignment to reclassify the budget manager from salary range 32 to budget and finance manager at salary range 39, and place the incumbent in step 5 effective July 1st, 2021. Reclassify the administrative services manager from salary range 29 to central services manager at salary range 40, and place the incumbent in step 5 effective July 1st, 2021. And authorization to create, post, and fill a county administrator position at salary range 47, eliminate the support services director position and appoint Frank Pinter as the interim county administrator at salary range 47, step 5, effective July 1st, 2021, and create, post, and fill a human resources administrator position at salary range 38 on the non-represented salary range scale. Item 8.18, approval to submit the 2021-2023 Ecology Local Solid Waste Funding Assistance Grant application to the Department of Ecology and authorize the Public Works Director and/or Deputy Director, Utilities and Waste Management to sign the necessary agreements. Item 8.19, approval of the revised Small Works Consulting and Vendor Roster Resolution that replaces Resolution number 56-17 and amends Chapter 3.48 of the Mason County Code. Item 8.20, approval of Contract Amendment 4 for a time extension with Kennedy Jenks Consultants Incorporated to wrap up the project and submit the general sewer plan to Ecology for the Belfair Sewer Extension Phase 2 project.
Item number 8.21, approval of the unmasking procedure for Mason County employees and facilities to be consistent with current CDC, Washington State DOH, and Washington State Governor's guidance for persons fully vaccinated for COVID-19. Item 8.22, approval of the Washington State Office of Public Defense Grant, GRT 21048, in the amount of $19,656 for distribution of funds for the purpose of providing indigent defense representation pursuant to the State versus Blake. Item number 8.23, approval of the amended Interpreter Reimbursement Program Interagency Agreement, IAA 21627, to increase the reimbursement amount from $10,269 to $13,863. Item number 8.24, approval of the Mason County Electronic Signature Policy. Item number 8.25, approval for the chair to sign a letter of no obligation for a special occasion liquor license for Backcountry Hunters and Anglers for an event on June 26, 2021 in Belfair. Item number 8.26, approval to create, post, and fill one additional real property technician position within the assessor's office as an interim for succession planning. Item number 8.27, approval to create, post, and fill one full-time deputy prosecuting attorney to assist with the additional unexpected caseloads due to the backlog created by Washington State Supreme Court's State versus Blake decision. Item number 8.28, approval to increase the current expense fund from the existing victim witness advocate position to full statutory and constitutional obligations to witnesses and victims of crime. Item number 8.29, approval to create, post, and fill one temporary additional accounting technician position within the Community Services Public Health Department. Item number 8.30, approval to post, interview, and fill a vacated secretary receptionist position in support services. Now that these items have been read to you in the public, you'll be given an opportunity to ask a question now on any item that was just read. If you would like to testify, then you will be given an opportunity to take it off for a separate vote, at which time you'll be given a chance to testify. With it being read to the public and this being your opportunity to ask a question, is there anybody who would like to ask a question regarding anything that's on the action agenda? If so, please raise your hand. No hands. I will ask you to unmute and say your name and I will call on you. I see none. Are there any items that you would like taken off for a separate vote? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing none, please unmute yourself and say your name and I will call on you. None. Commissioners, do you have any items you'd like taken off for a separate vote?
I do not.
No.
I have one. I'd like item number 8.15. Let's double check. Taken off for a separate vote, please. Okay, hearing that, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of items 8.1 through 8.30 with the exception of 8.15, which is removed for a separate discussion and vote.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the action agenda, items 8.1 through 8.30, with the exception of 8.15, which will be taken off for a separate vote. Any comments? And hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Item number 8.15. Jennifer, would you mind just giving us a brief explanation of what this is? And then I'll explain my reason for asking it to be removed.
Yes, I can do that. So this is during the 2021 budget process, the board set aside $5,000 in the current expense non-departmental budget for the purpose of providing essential items to the poor and infirm with a strong preference towards veterans. And after going through the request for proposal or the RFP process, a draft contract has been established with North Mason Resources to provide approximately $2,500 worth of services to the north end of the county and $2,500 to the south end of the county. And this is a reimbursable contract, and each individual served must attest that they qualify as poor or infirm according to the contract. and they are limited to one transaction per week with a maximum value of $50 in any one transaction under the contract. And also there is a 10% allowance for administration included in the $5,000 total contract amount. Examples of items that would be included in the contract would be food, water, shower tokens, bus passes, hygiene kits, towels, propane, fuel, and blankets.
Thank you. Commissioners, you know how important I feel this is. This is one of the things that I've been, pushing from the beginning, and we did it last year. But there's been some extenuating circumstances that have come up that have led me to believe that this is something that we would be best off having further discussions on. And I would like to ask you to consider that. With that being said, if we were to make no motion at all, it will die for lack of a motion, or a commission can make a motion and we can have a further discussion on it. Is there a motion on item 8.15? Hearing none, the item dies for lack of a motion, and we move on. Next up on the agenda is item number 9, other business, department heads and elected officials. Loretta Swanson, you were going to speak or have Mike speak on an issue that's come up?
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Yes, just wanted to give a quick heads up. We began chip sealing on McEwen Prairie yesterday, and application, materials, everything was wonderfully flawless in the morning, and in the afternoon, our emulsion appeared to not be binding as well as it should be. So, Commissioners, just simply wanted to give a heads up to you and to the community that we're certainly well aware of it. McEwen Prairie, it has sealed, and we've got good binding happening now at this point in time. But due to what happened yesterday afternoon, we're taking a pause on continued application out at McEwen, and we're following up with some testing to zero in on what we're thinking might be the problem and get to a solution. So we definitely thank and appreciate our citizens' patience with this, and we're getting to the bottom of what was going on. And of course, we are all committed to doing our very best work out there and getting on a good product and a good solution.
Thank you, Loretta. I would like to add to that to let you know that immediately I started getting phone calls, but I also am aware that our leadership was out there immediately to try and assess the situation and mitigate it as soon as that was absolutely even possible. I also understand that our staff was kind enough to express to anybody who had any issue or damage that occurred, a process of which they can go and speak with the county to have that taken care of. And I'll afford the same thing now to express that there are ways to get things taken care of. Please call the county if you have issues. But a very high compliment to our staff for not sitting on their hands when this started to occur and sending people out immediately to make things better and to help create this and become an even worse issue. Commissioners, I don't know if you heard about this at all. Have any comment you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'll kind of echo what you said, Commissioner Nevin. I appreciate Mike and staff being out there on site and taking a look at it. We'll get it figured out, and we'll make the necessary changes. I'm confident in that. And then, as you said, there is a claims process for people that may have been affected by it, and I trust that we'll take care of people that had issues because of this. And our road crews always do a top-notch job, especially when it comes to chip sealing. If you've had a chance to get out there and see them do it, it's impressive work. This, I think, is the exception, not the rule, to how well they do during this time of year. So appreciate all the effort going into fixing it.
Yes.
I'd like to echo everything that you both have said, and just let people know that we do care. And when issues like this come up, I truly appreciate our staff and their quick responses to everything. So please contact the county if you do have some claims.
Yeah, we all know that perfection doesn't exist much out there in this world. It's how you react once it happens, and our staff was exceptional. With that, I will move on to other department heads and elected officials who would like to speak. If you are a department head or elected official and would like to speak, please raise your hand and I will call on you. The first up is Patty McLean. Would you please unmute and say hi?
Good morning, Commissioners. I just wanted to let everybody know the annual notice of values have been mailed as of June 15th. I just we did a press release in the newspaper and also on the website, but I do encourage taxpayers, if they have any questions or concerns, to please call the office, if they feel there's an error or just to understand the whole assessment process. I've seen some social media, people are a little concerned about their 2022 taxes already that are not set until later in the year or the beginning of next year. So I just want them to, call if they have any questions. So it's been a little bit busy up here, so you'll notice a little extra traffic, but yep, I just wanted to make the taxpayers aware of it.
Madam Assessor, I can assure you each one of us commissioners knew immediately when they were delivered.
And my heart kind of stopped also.
Yeah, but the reality out there for the world is the property values have skyrocketed here in the county, and there is no way to deny that. When you're looking at these increases on the property values, they're real. They actually are. It's not just something that somebody is doing to you.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to understand. And last week I was able to attend in person the County Assessors Conference at Lake Chelan. It was really rough over there, but it was nice to have an in-person conference with the rest of the assessors, and it was a great turnout. And it's nice to talk with the other ones, and they're all going through the same issues. They all, whether it's staffing or just, understaffed, and just timelines and stuff, we're all facing the same issues. So it's kind of nice to talk to them to just know you're not, you're the only one in that boat.
Yeah. Overall, I want to point out to the community that your county taxes, were not blatantly increased on you. Either the commission chose this last year not to increase our tax and take our annual percentage. There's been discussion also for this year. It's not enforced yet, but there's been discussion from your three commissioners to also not take an increase this year in order to try and help others. Commissioners, would you like to comment on any of this?
Yeah, I'll just say I too am encouraging people to call the assessor's office about their notice of the value. But yeah, no, we recognize that that these values are going up, and if you're selling your house, it's good news for you. If you're staying put, you're probably a little bit concerned about it. And so in order to try and and provide a little bit of relief, especially over the past several months that have been difficult, we did commit this year to not increasing the property tax on the county side, either for the general fund or for the road fund. I'm confident that we'll be able to get there again for 2022. And so that'll be 2 back-to-back years where the county portion of the property tax hasn't increased. And I think, we try to look for ways to provide that relief however we can. Unfortunately, a lot of the tax is driven by state school tax and some other areas. So it's a lot of it is out of the county's control. It's just, you get the bill from us for everybody. And right. So you hear from us only, and you're panicking when you see that. I know how tough it is for people, but we'll do what we can on our side to try and hold the line and keep things flat.
Yeah, it's been a tough year, no doubt. And I was a little shocked when we got our card as well. But understand, and I think it's if we could talk to anyone, I'd like to talk to the state so that we can get some relief from them, but I don't see that coming. So
we'll have several taxpayers, even that when you guys put that in the newspaper about not taking your 1%, a lot of people confuse that of my taxes went up. The county said they're not raising taxes. Well, I had to explain to them it's just that portion on your tax bill. So there's a lot of confusion there. And then we'll get a lot of people put a little insert in their tax statement saying, I don't have any kids. Why am I paying the state school levy? Or why am I paying on schools? It's like, well, somebody paid when you were in school. So, it is, one of the main drivers for the revenue for the schools. So,
and for the public to recognize, please, although they want to get mad, the assessors required not ask, required to assess at 100% of market value. If they do anything less than that, they would be in violation of the law, and you would never want to ask any of your staff or people to do anything like that. So please recognize it's required, and your assessor is doing their job.
Yeah, and there'll still be comments out there that says we're just raising taxes or raising value to get more money for the general fund. So, you know, we do reiterate that that is not the case. It is state law.
Doesn't happen. All right. Is there any other elected official or department head who would like to speak on any issue that for us today? If so, please raise your hand. I see no other hands raised. If you are in need of discussing stuff with us or the public right now, I'd ask you to unmute and say your name so I can call on you. Hearing none, we will move forward. We will move on to item number 10, which is our public hearing. And I'm going to open the hearing number 1, public hearing to consider approval of budget supplemental appropriations and amendments to the 2021 budget. Staff, Jennifer Barley.
Thank you, Commissioners. So this is a public hearing to consider approval of budget supplemental appropriations and amendments to the 2020 budget, as you stated. Total adjustments to authorized expenditure appropriations in the general fund are $236,627. Total adjustments to authorized expenditure appropriations in funds other than the general fund, $8,441,540. And those requests in the general fund are detailed by department as follows. Emergency management, an increase of $2,823 for an EMPG grant. In district court, $25,269 for AOC increase for AOC funding for COVID expenditures and reimbursement for interpreter services. In Superior Court, increase of $7,315 for AOC funding for COVID expenditures. In WSU, an increase of $6,000 for a WSU MOU increase for a 3/4 time employee to a full-time employee. In emergency management, again, $1,700 for FEMA COVID expense for DEM OT and driver records. In facilities and grounds, $4,500 increase to budgeted motor pool fuel. Community development, increase of $43,150 for Burke Belfair UGA EIS contract increase and moving the portion that was not spent in 2020 into 2021's budget. Parks and Trails, increase of $4,500 for budgeted motor pool fuel. In non-departmental, $5,000 increase for county contribution to Gorst Coalition. In facilities and grounds, again, $6,430 for transferring vehicle number 268 that was budgeted in the motor pool to facilities. And in the motor pool department, a decrease of $6,430 for transferring that vehicle into facilities. In therapeutic courts, $84,368 increase for a new AOC grant from Family Recovery Court. And in the auditor's office, $52,002 for interim financial analyst for succession planning for retirement in May of 2022. And in the special funds, the detail is as follows. In Fund 350, REIT 1, an increase of $300,000 for Building 10 remodeling, which is a portion of Phase 2. In Fund 403, North Bay Sewer, an increase of $125,000 for higher than expected CFC revenue used to improve the lift stations. In Fund 501, Equipment Rental and Revolving, increase of $652,500 for the purchase of 2 dump trucks on behalf of county roads. In County Roads Fund 105, an increase of also $652,500 for the ER&R rate for the purchase of those 2 dump trucks. Also in County Road Fund 105, $126,100 increase for completion of salt shed project approved in the 2020 budget. And in Fund 413, Belfair Sewer, $100,989 increase for the refinance of debt in 2020, which resulted in higher principal payment due in 2021. And last but not least, the new American Rescue Plan Act Fund number 155, an increase of $6,484,451. And this is one half of the American Rescue Plan Act funds. Known expenditure of Sheriff's Office body and vehicle cameras will come out of this fund for $702,000. And then the other remaining portion of the fund is unknown at this time. And it's put into capital as a line item amount at this time. Any questions on any of those items? Great, thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. So with that, now we will move into a questioning period. We'll start with the commissions first. Commissioners, do you have any questions regarding the presentation that was just given to you?
I do not.
Hearing none, I will ask the public whether or not you have a question regarding the presentation that was just given. If you intend to testify or have an opinion, this is not the time. You'll be given that opportunity. But if you have a question regarding the presentation, please raise your hand in the participants box. I see no hands raised. Please unmute yourself and say your name and I will call on you. I hear none. Then we will go ahead and move on to public testimony. Is there anybody in the public who would like to testify regarding this budget amendment? If so, please raise your hand. If you would like, you may now unmute yourself, say your name if you would like to testify. I hear no public testimony. One more time, anybody who would like to publicly testify, please unmute yourself and say your name. Hearing none, I will close public testimony and move into commissioner deliberations and or a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the 2021 budget supplemental appropriations and amendments, total adjustments to authorize expenditure appropriations in the general fund of $236,627 and total adjustments to authorize expenditure appropriations in funds other than the general fund in the amount of $8,441,540 as presented.
Okay.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the budget amendments for 2021 supplemental appropriations and amendments. Total adjustments to authorize expenditures appropriations in the general fund of $236,627. Total adjustments to the authorized expenditure appropriations in funds other than the general fund, $8,441,540. Now there's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. That hearing is closed. We will now open the second hearing. This public hearing is to consider approval of the changes to Chapter 12.08 Highway Approaches of the Mason County Code. Staff, Mike Collins will be the presenter.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This is the update request for the Chapter 12.08 Highway Approaches of the Mason County Code. It was last adopted in 1973, so it was due. Kelly and Dave did a really great job on it, dusting it off and cleaning it up, and so we're proud of what they've done. So Public Works has recommended numerous changes highlighted in this document. These changes will bring the code up to current state laws defined by RCW 36.75 and current county policies. They also updated the permit application and checklist and even new diagrams. A couple things to note specifically is the permit fees. They have went from a reimbursed $25 per approach to now a non-reimbursable $200 per approach. That was quite the dramatic change there. The other one I'd like to note is 12.08.110. That's the maintenance policy. And what has happened in the past, there was a little confusion towards who maintains the culverts. And so we're clarifying that. In an emergency, the county will actually spend the money to open up or do what's necessary to keep the water flowing. And then in county project scenario, the county will relocate the driveway approach. But as for an aged system, pipe or damaged pipe, that the owner actually will be responsible for the replacement of that structure. Those are just some of the key elements.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. So we'll start with the commission first. Commissioners, do you have any questions regarding the presentation that was just given to us?
Not for me.
I have nothing.
Okay, this is your opportunity in the public. If you have a question regarding the presentation that was just given, this will be your opportunity to ask that question. This is not a time for testimony. That will be, you will be given that opportunity after this. With that being said, does anybody have any questions? Please raise your hand in the participants boxes. I see no hands. If you have a specific question regarding the testimony, please unmute yourself now. Say your name so I can call on you. Any questions? Please unmute, say your name, and I will call on you. Hearing none, we will move on then to public testimony. We'll close that part. Is there anybody in the public who would like to testify on this issue? Please raise your hand. Anybody who would like to testify, please raise your hand. If there's anybody who'd like to testify on this issue, you may now unmute yourself and say your name so I could have the opportunity to call on you. If you'd like to testify, I ask that you unmute now, say your name, and I'll give you an opportunity to speak to us. Hearing none, I will close public testimony and move to commissioner deliberations and/or a motion.
Hold that thought. Mr. Chair, I'd like to approve the changes to Chapter 12.08, the highway approaches of the Mason County Code.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the changes to 12.08 regarding highway approaches of the Mason County Code. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. The hearing closed. All right, next up, folks, is our board reports and calendars. Commissioner Schutte, if you wouldn't mind going first, Commissioner Trask, and then myself.
Yeah, excellent. So just one quick item from last week. I had the opportunity to attend the installation of the new board, swearing in of the new president of the Shelton Rotary Club. Pam Schaefer is the new president, but it was also an opportunity for us to remember Dan Ward, who was a fixture in the community for a number of years and passed away last week. He served Shelton as a lifetime firefighter and just an all-around great community figure. And so it was an opportunity to get together and remember him and just send on our sympathies to his wife Pam and his family during this difficult time. Moving forward, after today's meeting, I have my check-in with the Army Corps of Engineers on the Skokomish Valley projects. Also have a meeting with Pierce Transit, as well as a call with SC Johnson for an update on the pilot project that we approved last month, and a Hood Canal Bridge Assessment Management Committee call this afternoon. Later on this week, I have the Housing Behavioral Health Advisory Board, a meeting with Mason Conservation District and Great Peninsula Conservancy. Also probably may bump into both of you at some point at Kathy Fuller's retirement on Thursday this week. Have a check-in with staff at the Thurston Mason BHASO, as well as a bigger Mason County Behavioral Health group meeting to talk about the effects of House Bill 1310, which changes use of force, which is having a downward effect also on our designated crisis responders in the behavioral health world, and what law enforcement's ability to respond to crisis situations is going to be, and just being able to work through that at both the law enforcement and BHASO level. Back for briefings on the 28th, as well as Mason County Republican Party meeting in the evening. I have a Mason Transit park and ride tour on the 29th, as well as a meeting with Representative McEwen. Thurston Mason BHASO Governance Board meeting, and the National Weather Service hydrology forecast heading into the 4th of July weekend, and then back on July 6th for our regular meeting.
So I'd like to extend a fond farewell to a friend that passed away yesterday, Mark Domet. He will be missed. So let's say this afternoon I have a road trip with Loretta and Public Works. Our EOC meeting on Wednesday. There's a couple American Rescue Plan webinars this week. I have a meeting with the Public Works Board regarding the MOU. A DNR coalition meeting on, or phone call on Thursday, a AAA Area Agency on Aging meeting on Thursday, another Public Works Board meeting on Friday. We have our briefing on Monday, WASAC meeting on Monday as well. Tuesday is going to be a day to play outside, kind of, where we're taking a tour. I've arranged a tour with Representative Strickland's office and some members from our community and from the legislature. We will be touring the reserve out on the Skoke and take a look at the river and then take a hike. Hopefully it's not too steep because I am out of shape. And then Wednesday, we have our Delton Mason options meeting. Then we move into the 4th of July weekend, and then back on Tuesday for our commission meeting.
Area Command, this last few weeks of Area Command, MTA special meeting, which we attended together, Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority meetings, a Belfair meeting for the EIS with staff. Commissioner Trask and myself were both on the line for the 1152 implementation. Pastor Brian had his service, who passed away. He was a founding member of a local church up there in North Mason. What an incredible man. He will be missed. I believe it was me and Commissioner Schutte both attended the Youth Town Hall meeting together, meeting for U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Mason Transit Authority regular meeting, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization, and we each attended the KMB jail study. Coming up, I have North Mason Chamber of Commerce event. Collins Lake is having their annual HOA meeting. They've asked me to come. Briefings. I will also be attending the Kathy Fuller retirement. Me and Commissioner Trask will probably both be on the WASAC virtual. I have a meeting with the audit committee coming up, North Mason Community Voice, Mason Transit Authority Policy, the Left Board, and Area Command again, and that brings us back to doing it all over. With that, that's all I have on the agenda. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Hearing no objections, we are adjourned.
Have a good weekend,
Bye,
buddy.
everybody.